It's now time for our Plus feature. And if you don't know, Plus delivers a wide range of health and wellbeing services that empowers thousands of people to progress into work each year. And this week, on behalf of Plus Somerset, we're looking at a new initiative funded by the UK Community Renewal Fund called Engage Somerset. Last month, we met with Lisa Pearce, who is the project manager for Engage Somerset, who told us all about this fantastic initiative, which is empowering communities in the towns of Highbridge, Glastonbury and CHARD. And there you can see all the lovely community coaches. We have Josh, Charlotte, Claire, and we're very pleased to be joined this week by Julie Guyan, who is a community coach in the CHARD area for Engage Somerset. Hi Julie, thanks for joining us today.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I can't hear you very well. It's quite distorted.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. No, that's not a problem. Hope Mr. Engineer Man behind the scenes, that's not his official title, honestly. He's on the case right now for you. Hopefully we can continue on, though. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Lisa explained a bit about this project when she joined us last month, but could you provide viewers with a bit of an overview into Engage Somerset and what it's all about?
Yeah, basically the Engage Somerset programme, for me, I work in CHARD and I work with anybody who's over 18 and not in paid employment. So we found that there's an awful lot of people now that are feeling very isolated, lonely. We've got other people that are looking for a job, but unfortunately they may have lost their confidence skills because people have been sort of shut away for so long. We've got other people that want to improve their health, so we can do things around that. And also we can help with digital skills. So that could be very simple, from downloading a photograph onto your phone and sending it by email. What I say to people is, you tell me what you want, and if I can't help you, then I can probably find somebody that can help you. We have lots of different partnerships that we work with, but the overall thing of Engage is to inspire healthy change and help people live a better life, be that mentally or physically or emotionally. That's Engage in a nutshell.
Fantastic. It sounds absolutely lovely. I love the probably in there. You've got to keep it safe, haven't you? But it sounds really good what you're trying to do. I know a little bit more about you, though. Can you tell us a bit more about your background and what led you to becoming a community coach for an Engage Somerset?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you absolutely fine.
Brilliant. Well, I initially, a lot of my background was in sales, but I was also worked within social services. And then about 19 years ago, I joined the police force. I started off as a call handler, so I took the 999 calls, the general calls from the members of public. I then became a supervisor. And then approximately 9 years ago, I became a dispatcher. So I used to dispatch the police officers over the radio. And then 2.5 years ago, I decided I wanted to be a police community support officer. I didn't want to be a police officer. I wanted to be the nice police officer. So I worked out in the community with a lot of people. I worked in a very deprived area in Taunton. Absolutely loved the job. It was my dream job. But unfortunately, as a lot of things are now, the job role changed, and I was doing a lot more of what I would say police work. So I was investigating burglaries, assaults, etc. And my time out in the community was just becoming less and less, and that wasn't why I joined the role. So if I'm very honest, I spoke to my sister-in-law who works in Plus and said to her, got any jobs going? And she pointed me in the right direction, and I started with Engage on the 9th of February, and I have to honestly say it's the best move I've ever made. I thought I'd have regrets leaving the police, obviously 19 years, very secure employment, but I just love it. So I'm back out in the community doing what I love.
Fantastic. I mean, what a background you have there. It's not a normal one by any means necessarily. You've clearly got a lot of experience working under pressure in very serious situations, but being able to keep the calm yourself, which I think obviously works perfectly for this kind of role, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm only literally getting every other word from you. So I do apologise.
No, that's all right. We'll continue trying to work on that. We'll seem to be doing all right considering. So we'll try and continue onwards. You've gone on a little bit about the support people can receive. What kind of support can people expect to receive from you?
As I said, emotionally. So obviously, no names mentioned. I have got a lady who's enrolled on the project initially just to join us on a walk. And then she's now sort of, as she gains confidence in me, she's disclosed to me a few problems that she's having. So I will work with her on a one-to-one basis to see if we can provide her with any additional support she needs. It could be that she just needs an ear and somebody to listen to. We've then got the gym. We're working alongside Freedom Leisure, as you know. Excuse me, and they're offering 8 weeks free membership. Excuse me, one moment. It's not COVID, I promise. Yeah, so they're offering an 8-week free membership to the gym. So that's all the classes. You can use gym equipment, the swimming pool. We also can offer physical health, as in walking. We have got a fantastic walking group on a Monday. We've also got a buggy walk on a Thursday. We've also got some community groups. We've got a very big one on a Wednesday, which is the Watch Project, which you know about. We also have another one. There's one on a Wednesday, which is called Take Flight, and another one on a Wednesday at Forefront. We work with the employment agencies so we can help people back into work. There's also support, as I said, for people that want to learn more computer skills, but it's not just computer skills. I've just spoken to a gentleman who's actually in his 80s, and he'd like to learn how to use his mobile phone better so he can then stay in contact with his family. So it's everything. It's just fantastic. It's anything that people are struggling with. As I said, if Engage can't help them, then there'll definitely be somebody we're working with to help you further, other than give you the lottery numbers, or I wouldn't be here. Well, I might be, actually, because I do love my job.
That's very fair. I love that. I've definitely had personal experience with trying to, in regards to teaching someone maybe of an older generation with their mobile phone. That would be my mum. Sorry, mum, not to pick on you there. But it's nice to see that there's people there to help with these kinds of things. What would you say are some of the challenges faced by the community in the CHARD area?
The problem with CHARD is the community links, transport links. Sorry, not community, transport links. There is a bus service, but it's very expensive. The buses don't run regularly. I had one lady that went to Taunton's probably about 12 miles, I think, from CHARD. So return, it cost her £10 on the bus. She missed the bus home and had to then wait another hour and a half for another bus. I mean, that's a long time, and £10 is a lot of money to somebody that doesn't have money. There's no train station here. A big part of CHARD as well is people say because of these transport links or lack of transport links, they do feel quite isolated. And the other thing is, I think more is being done now, but there's not a job centre as such, although more is happening. We get advisors coming in from Taunton into CHARD, and they set up on every other Wednesday. And also we've got very good ABRI there on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. So what I thought would be a great idea is I've got a bus driver that's looking for work. Why not pay him to drive a bus, and we can ship everybody in and out of Taunton at a reduced fare? But I don't think it will take off.
Hey, it's worth a try. It's that kind of thinking that you never know when you're going to find you're going to hit gold and do something really, really does make a difference. I think personally that's a really good idea. Why not? If you've got somebody who's there who can do that kind of thing, why not utilise that?
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I want to talk about something we can't really avoid talking about these days. The last 2 years, the pandemic. Obviously, it's understandable that people have become more isolated, less likely to meet up and connect with people. Is this something that you would say Engage Somerset can help with?
Sorry, we can help with people that are isolated.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. That, if I'm honest, that's a huge part of my job. I've just literally whipped in this community hall to ask if I can borrow a fork to eat my salad with, because I forgot my fork. And there's a great big group in there of, let's say, more elderly people. And I got chatting with them. I've actually got a meeting now with the lady in 2 weeks' time, just for going in to borrow a fork. But they were saying, when I explained what Engage is all about, they do feel extremely isolated. A lot of the, let's say, our more mature generation, I think COVID frightened them, and they were frightened of coming out of the house. Therefore, they lost a lot of confidence in themselves. I was quite blasé to it. I had no choice. Working for the emergency services, I had to work right through it. But the more you speak to people now, the more you actually discover that it's affected people hugely. We've still got people now that don't want to come out of their houses. So, yeah, isolation is a huge, huge thing. And what we do, we have, like I said, the Monday walk. It's more of a stroll and a chat. I end up half my time shouting at everyone to hurry up because I haven't got all day. So they're used to me shouting now. As I said, the buggy walk on a Thursday, we had 14 children and 7 mums last week. And again, you've got a lot of COVID babies. They're not used to being out and about. And then we've got our community groups. So a lot of what I do is with people who are feeling isolated, and this is just phenomenal. I've got one lady who texted me last week. She was coming back from Scotland after visiting family, and she texted me to say, for the first time ever, she was actually looking forward to coming home because she had people to come home to, because she had nobody here.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. I mean, stories like that just sort of made me go, oh. You know, just sort of hit your heart. But it's fantastic to hear that this kind of work is being done and having this such a positive effect on members of the community. We're going to be catching up with a couple of the partners you're working with in CHARD a bit later. But perhaps you could tell us about some of the other delivery partners you are working with.
Sorry, I've missed you again, but just to confirm, just to let you know who else I work with, is that right?
That's lovely, yeah.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I couldn't do my job without these people. Can I just say, when I started this job, I was very, very worried that I'd be lonely because I was working on my own. But the people I work with, not just the other organisations, but the members of public, it's just amazing, and made some really good friendships actually with the people I work with. We work alongside the police. Obviously, they're out in the community. They are aware of people that are vulnerable and need the extra support. Also, village agents. Again, they're people out in the community that work with all sorts of people. So I've had a few referrals from the village agent, and I've referred to them as well. Citizens Advice is somebody we deal with. If you want to stop me, tell me, because I do talk an awful lot. I've actually got a meeting this afternoon with a mental health practitioner. They're very interested in what we do, because we can help with the mental health side. Again, people feeling isolated, it's affected their mental health. The employment services, as I've already mentioned, Restart and Abri, I work very closely with. Also Cosmic, they're the people that do the computer side, they're part of Engage. I also, when I can, because it's actually gone crazy now, but on a Thursday morning, there's a big Teams meeting called One Team, and that's where a lot of the organisations all come together. So you'll have the doctors, the schools, midwives, police, council, housing. They all come together. There's usually about 15 people in that meeting. So they're interested in what we do. For example, spoke to somebody earlier today who runs a children's nursery. Obviously, we can't help the children at this stage, but there are parents that are struggling, or there's parents that are looking for work. So the NHS, midwives, all sorts of people.
Fantastic. Oh, Julie, I know what it feels like. I am a key ranter here, so you do not have to worry. Honestly, you're not overtaking me any day, and it's fantastic to hear everything you are saying. What a fantastic group of people you have working with you as well. I say people, organisations. Don't go anywhere, Julie, if you don't mind, because you're actually now the star of our short film. So let's take a look at Julie out and about in CHARD to show us the kind of things that's on offer. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Julie and I am the community coach for the Engage project in CHARD. And as you can see, I've been told that I have to sit on this exercise machine and show you what it's all about. We're currently at the CHARD Leisure Centre. CHARD Leisure Centre are currently offering an 8-week programme to anybody who's on the Engage project. That's if you're not in paid employment, over 18 and live in CHARD. This is an 8-week programme for anybody that would like to join the gym, and it's completely free, and that includes all the classes, the swimming pool and the fitness studio and the gym. Right, I'm now going to take you across to Forefront, which is our little community hall. But in the meantime, wow! Have you seen our swimming pool? We're now outside Forefront, which is a little community centre. It's a fantastic place. They do all sorts down here, from craft making to food parcels to young mums groups. We've got a Citizen Spice upstairs. Basically, if you want to be part of the community, pop into Forefront and they'll be able to help you with anything. We even spend time just sitting, having a coffee, hot chocolate, or a cold drink, just building people's confidence, having a chat about the world and any issues they may have. Like they always say, it's great to talk. Hi and welcome to Elios Cafe. Wonderful little cafe right in the 4th Street of CHARD. I come in here quite regularly for meetings, meeting anybody. They do the most wonderful milkshakes, paninis. Just a great bunch of people, really. We're now at CHARD Rugby Club. The Rugby Club is where CHARD Watch is hosted. CHARD Watch is a fantastic organisation. It was started by a lady called Julie who wanted to explore more about peer groups, and boy has it taken off. I come here on a Wednesday, I chat with the people that come to CHARD Watch, and that's people that just want to make new friends, maybe learn a new skill, get more out in the community. And there's also another group on a Thursday, but they do a lot more than just community meetings. They've got their own website, so you can go on the Watch Project. But the bottom line is, if you live in CHARD, you're not in paid employment, you're over 18 years old, and you feel that we could help you, then please get in touch. I can help you with confidence issues, mental health, physical health, debt problems, confidence building. You tell me what you want, and if I can't do it, I will try and find somebody that can.
Lovely to see you there, Julie, showing us around CHARD. Thank you for that. A star in the making, maybe. Is there any kind of last few words you'd give to anyone who you think would need this support, maybe are not sure where to go? Is there anything you'd like to say about the video as well?
I've always said and truly believe that it's good to talk. If people don't want to pick up the phone, send a text instead. That first step can be very, very frightening and quite daunting, but it can also make a huge difference. I've got participants that have been proof of that. The video, yeah, my worst nightmare, but I think everyone's quite impressed by it in the end. But it is true, everything I say in the video, but I need to reiterate as well, getting back to work. It doesn't mean that you want to get back to work now. It doesn't mean that you want to get back to work in 6 months' time. It could just be building your confidence in order to make those steps. Again, I've got another lady. I met her probably 8 weeks ago, had no intention of looking for work because she just didn't have the confidence to do it. This afternoon, she's got an appointment with ABRI, who are the employment people. So pick up the phone. Don't sit there and, just wallow in your grief or your depression. I've been there. I know what it's like. You want to stick the duvet over your head and lock out the world. It doesn't work. There are people out there to help, and Engage is a big part of that.
Thank you very much, Julie. It's been lovely having you on the show, and we'll talk to you again another time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Julie. What a lovely lady, and very good information there and knowledge there on lots of hard topics, we'll say. One of the organisations who have partnered up with Engage Somerset is CHARD Watch, who reach out and engage with isolated adults needing support. One of the services they provide is a peer support group, which help individuals who have experienced mental health problems come together for mutual support. We will be joined by Gabrielle from CHARD Watch shortly, but first, let's take a look at this short film.
One of the biggest gifts that it gave me was the aspect of hope, that things could be different in my life. Whereas for 3 years it involved a revolving door of being in the community and then back on a ward and then getting a sense of stability and coming back up to home and then again being back on the ward.
I basically fell into a very deep depression, as you're prone to. I was like various diagnoses that hadn't been given at the time. I was living with my parents. I was like well into my 30s at that point. I was not in a good place and I considered all the dark things people tend to in those situations.
My front door was locked. I wouldn't answer it to anybody. I wouldn't answer the phone. I might sort of like look to see who's rung. I might ring back, might not, depending on how I was. My relative of mine realised I was getting a bit severely ill, said about going to the doctors.
Many years ago, with my own mental health, I unfortunately lost my business and everything, and was very, very down, had clinical depression, and I was walking along a road and with my head looking down at the ground at the tarmac and wondering where my life was going to take me on my journey. And I looked down and I saw this little daisy forcing its way through the black sticky tarmac, and I thought, how does it do that? Because I saw the tarmac as my black depression. And so how does a fragile daisy push its way through? And I wished that I could push my way through my depression.
Another member of the watch said to me, "Oh, come along to this brilliant group." I said, "Well, what's it like?" "Oh, a whole group of people get together, sit around, have an hour and a cup of tea. You know, it's amazing." And I was like, that's my biggest fear. Like walking into a building I don't know, full of strangers, and being able to sit down and have a conversation. I was like, no, don't think that's for me.
The peer support group, being what it is, a place of support with peers, it's like, well, I'm going there to work on my mental health. I'm allowed to be off. I'm allowed to whine and complain about anything that's rubbing me the wrong way that week. And it's almost like a form of practiced living. I sort of found myself there and refound myself, and hopefully helped others feel comfortable enough to find themselves there.
Someone who's been mentally fragile, who is mentally fragile, who's living in the world, managing that fragility, have a different set of support mechanisms for somebody else who is vulnerable. To say, I've been there, I am there, this is how I've journeyed through, this is how you could journey through. What do you need? And there is something about when you are vulnerable, being able to talk to somebody else who has vulnerability, that is a much more trusting and empowering experience.
Out in normal situations, like in town or whatever, people will choose to cross the road, so they don't have to talk to you. Whereas here it's like, "Oh, hello, how you been?" And if you haven't been for a month or so, you know, it's still the same when you come back.
You form really solid friendships through that connection, and you build trust with one another, and it gives you a chance to kind of explore your perspectives and to take on other people's perspectives and to challenge built-in self-beliefs that you may have into changing them into a more positive sort of set of beliefs.
You will feel more understood by someone who understands, properly understands from their own experience. That gives you validation and it gives you hope. That's what we hope anyway. That's what we found.
I didn't notice a change in myself, but apparently the people around me did, and it felt very authentic. It wasn't we're going to test Matthew. It's like Matthew knows what he's doing. Like, could you? We'd like to go out this day. Could you organise it for us? It's like never in a million years would have thought I'd be in a position. It's something as small as that.
It gave me a hope that actually things could be different, and moving towards something that I wanted to gain in my life, and being able to achieve that and to grow in confidence and self-worth.
I'm comfortable being uncomfortable now, and it's thanks to the journey I've been on and the people that were there with me.
Very much what I want to try and do is be walking alongside someone, and if they could walk alongside me too, because there's two people in that relationship.
You can come in feeling absolutely low at the lowest, and then go home with a smile on your face.
Over the years, we were lucky to work with organisations and the NHS and actually deliver self-management courses, followed by helping to set up peer workshops, and so that we could actually have other people have that opportunity to have a small group across the whole of Somerset.
To be able to go back onto the ward and offer peer support to other people, and to show them the value of hope, that things can be different.
For me, it's a lifeline. It changed my life. I was in an extremely dark place, which every day was a struggle to get through. And now I can see past a day. I could see weeks, maybe what I might be doing next month.
I'm so far removed from where I was that it's hard to put myself back in those shoes again, and not in a painful way, but in those shoes don't even fit me now. I can't even remember how my feet felt inside the thing.
It is life-changing for me. It's, yeah, don't know where I'd be without watch. So, yeah. I can start getting emotional now, but...
Wow, that was lovely. Really fantastic. And it gives me great pleasure now to welcome Gabrielle. Thank you for joining us today. Hello, welcome, Gabrielle. Can you hear me there? Oh, okay. I can't seem to be able to hear Gabrielle. I'm going to keep on talking. Hopefully we'll be able to hear you in a moment. It's lovely to have you on the show. Thank you very much for coming on. Can you tell us how CHARD Watch begun and what the aim of the organisation is?
So it started in 2007, and it was started actually as CHARD Intentional Peer Support. It was founded basically by Julie Matthews. She was with a fellow 3 other mental health patients, and they basically had the opportunity to have a lady come over called Sherry Mead they were sort of funded basically to train 35 service users to learn about peer support, with basically the hope about its value and what it could do in the community. So it's obviously for focusing on the fact that people have the same lived experience and therefore they have a mutual understanding. So peer support is on the basis that it's thinking about transformative relationships, the use of relationships to see things from a new angle, and also to support and challenge each other. So basically that started in 2007, and that carried on for 3 years, growing and developing. When the day services actually closed, Julie Matthews and her fellow small group of people that were in that, they decided to start off the CHARD Intentional Peer Support and build on that basically. And sort of following on for that, they had support from local organisations such as the Volunteer Bureau, Somerset Community Foundation, also Somerset Skills and Learning, and they formed the project which is known as now as the Watch Project in CHARD. And the aim is to basically be the lead in peer support, to reduce isolation within communities, and it's on that hopeful basis that, if you have a friend, you're not lonely. So we go by the motto, it's your voice, your potential, your way.
Fantastic. I love the idea you've got there as well, of helping people see things from a different perspective, using a different method and having someone else there. So often there are so many problems in this world where that is actually quite a simple solution, and yet you can't think of going there yourself until someone comes in and sort of helps you with that. I think that's really fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. Makes all the difference.
Yeah, we've seen a short film about the peer support service that you offer. Could you tell us about some of the other services and activities on offer with CHARD Watch? I know you started giving us a few there. Is there any others you could tell us about?
Yeah, so we're now part of the Open Mental Health Network. So our sort of remit in that is to be the lead provision on peer support in the whole of Somerset. So we offer peer volunteer training. We have different courses which people can go on, obviously, from everything from sort of courses on social anxiety to looking at people's well-being and IT and things like that. We run a learning pathway on a Tuesday. We also run a new members group on a Wednesday. Sort of introducing new members into the project. So there's a lot of different courses that we offer, and we also linked in with other organisations as well. So, it could be that we sort of know that there's a course coming up, and we within, say, the Somerset Wildlife Trust, we've had one recently, and people can go on a 6-week course or 12-week course on from there. So there's a lot of different things that are coming up, and including, in the actual project itself, which is in CHARD, we do different workshops. So we've got coming up this year year. Ones from everything from creating your own cartoon to mindfulness and digital well-being. So there's a really wide variety. So hopefully something there for everybody.
Absolutely. And as we heard, the Engage Somerset overall aim is to support people towards and into employment. What kind of support can CHARD Watch offer people who are looking to move towards employment?
Yeah, well, all of our courses are free, and we're hoping that people going on the courses will gain lots of skills. It'll be a boost to their confidence. So we also sort of work closely with, as I said before, other partnership organisations, including Abri Housing, which are currently funding us for 3 years. So we do offer things like 10-week skills for the workplace and other courses to sort of support the individual, because for us it's all about the individual's pathway. So, if they're looking sort of to gain sort of IT skills, then we'll look into, if we can't physically support them ourselves, we'll look into who we can work with to make sure that each person gets that support that they need.
Fantastic, Gabrielle. Well, thank you for joining us today. It sounds like you guys have got a lot of things you're doing for the community, making a positive difference. Can I just say, personally, you've got such a lovely, calming background there. I can't get away from that. Oh. I do love it. Thank you very much.
It hides a lot of things.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Next month, we will be catching up with Josh and Claire, who are the community coaches for the town of Highbridge. And on the 30th of June, we are going to be celebrating the success of Engage Somerset, with a special feature coming live from Glastonbury. The Chaos crew will be heading up to Somerset for this one, so look out for more details about that. And if you're interested in getting involved in the Engage Somerset project, then contact details are available along the bottom of the screen. And remember, if you sign up, you are entitled to a free Fitbit.